Welcome back to My Therapist Said. My name is Stephanie and I am your host. Welcome back to the show, you guys. How the fuck are we feeling? Happy Wednesday. We have Bubs here in the building. Bubs says hi. Today's episode is going to be about, I had an embarrassing moment this morning at yoga that I must share. Talking about my weekend a little. It's going to be a little, again, life update. Should I just stop updating and just be like, this is just a podcast about me? Maybe. And then final. I want to talk about how to separate yourself from what you're going through. And when I say you, I mean me. So to my earlier point about, is the podcast all about me? It is. Enjoy. Hi guys. Happy Wednesday. Why am I cheesing? Because I'm just already having a good time. I love this. Okay. Anyway, couple things housekeeping. Is that what we say? Whatever. The things where you have to like check in about the admin of it all. Last episode. The audio. Why did it record from my MacBook, from my Mac speakers? Why? I'm not totally sure. And the fact that it recorded the entire time from my Mac speakers until the final 6 minutes is hilarious. And why didn't I notice? I don't know. At one point, GarageBand did stop recording, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I just like kept going. And then when I was talking about Danny and Nia, and then I like hopped back on, and then I was listening back to it, and I was like, girly Bob, you recorded a fucking hour-long episode on your fucking raw-ass speakers. Anyway, silly goose business yet again. Can I say something about this coffee? If I was ever to get a sponsorship, this would be where I want to start. Mostly because the 4-pack is like fucking $16, which feels like a lot for a 4-pack of coffee. And then the other part is just because, and I'm tired of paying for that. And the other part is just because it's cutie. The packaging's so cutie. That fucking, I just support the branding of it all. I wish I had a straw, but life goes on. Acting like I'm not in charge here, but you know, I'm not. I'm not. So yeah, audio from last episode was trash, and you know, I did consider not doing it, not posting it, but then I was like, the episode also was a little, I mean, it is what it is. We're evolving, we're changing, and every episode is low-key different and high-key the same. You know what I mean? It's always dun, 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 usually just from a different angle, different vibe. And that episode was that. And then what else did I want to say about it? I guess that was it. Audio was trash. Oh, yeah. I know not everyone watches on YouTube, so I also need to adjust who I'm talking to, because I'm like, does everybody like my nails? And I never said what my nails are. And if you're not watching on YouTube, see, this is me improving and getting better, changing every day. Yes, bitch. They're like a silver chrome. So if you're not looking at the video, it's okay. I'll just explain it to you. They're a silver chrome, and they're just really shiny, which is more shiny than I would prefer previous. But they are growing on me, honestly. I was sitting in the sun yesterday, and I was like, these kind of give bad bitch. I don't know. So anyway, and then the hoodie, yeah, it was a blue navy hoodie with a structured hood. But I really be talking like everyone's watching me on video, and not everyone's watching you on video, Stephanie. It's not all about you. Jesus Christ. So that's what's new with me. I need to update you guys on, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm literally so embarrassed. So I was at yoga this morning. I decided to take a week off of, not a week, 2 classes off of the studio I've been going to, because the studio is so fucking hot, and I'm there because I want to die. You know what I mean? Like, I'm literally there because I want the heat, and I choose to drive further to that studio because it's, I mean, honestly, the bad bitches are there, and it's also just like hot, so it's a really good experience for me and my circus mind, because I focus on the fact that it's so hot, and I don't focus on the fact that insurance companies are awful. Anyway, so I went on Monday and had a really rough class, and had to like take a kneel, chill out for a second. Was definitely like working against my ego, which is really why I'm there. You know, I'm really there to just be like, what can you withstand and where do you need to take a break? And it's just hard. And every time I'm working against my ego, I like low key, high key, every fucking time, always feel like I'm going to cry because I just feel stupid. And I'm like, what is this issue? You go to yoga every fucking day at 5:30. Why are you having to like take a child's pose? Like, why can't you do the freaking tree pose that everyone else is doing? Because I'm like, but I'm going to die. That's why I can't do the tree pose. So dun, 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 at 5:45. I know. What a life we live. So it happened on Monday, and my friend came up after class and was like, hey, good job for like taking a kneel. Good job for like giving yourself the space to really chill. And I was like, Stephanie, just accept the compliment. Don't cry, accept the compliment. You've been crying on the track. Your emotions are right under the fucking surface. You've made that very clear on these motherfucking streets, Stephanie. Just listen to him and just accept the compliment. And I literally go, thank you. And then I almost start crying again. Why, Stephanie? Why are we crying in a yoga class? And I like had to hold back, and he was just like being so nice. And then I just walked away, and I was like, you need to stop with this. Like, you and your emotions be all over the map lately, girly. Like, I love you. And I'm also not an emotional person. Like, I can't even tell you the last time I like cried in public. Like, it just doesn't really happen to me. I mean, my parents both died. Not to bring this always back to grief, but my parents both died. And at their funerals, their celebration of life is what we called it. It's like I was crying a little, but I did speeches at both. So if that gives you like any, I don't know, does that mean anything to anyone? But like, that's kind of where my like emotional landscape is. Like, if something needs to be done, I can do it and I won't cry. But anyway, I feel like my emotions lately are like right under the surface, and it's so annoying. And it's also not very like me for it to be like that. Like, am I emotional inside? Yeah, but rarely do I express my emotions. And I'm a therapist, which I think is like important to like professionally, I know how to compartmentalize my feelings. Like, even if people are saying something, right, you have to be mindful of like your facial expressions. Like, I'm not going to cry. You know what I mean? Like, it's like very normal for me to just put all of my feelings and my emotions aside. But lately, I feel like I can't. And I don't know why. I'm just like, Bubs is sighing. He's like, Samantha's been crying. She's literally lying. All she does is fucking cry. Bubs, because with you, it's like different. I know, because we're at home, Bubs. Yeah, no, but you're not at, no, I didn't. He said I cried at the grocery store. No, I didn't cry at the grocery store. One time I cried at the grocery store, but years ago. Sometimes you just be crying on aisle 3 because, hello, grief. Anyway, so where was I going with this? Oh, the friend on Monday. So yeah, I just feel embarrassed as fuck for putting that on him, and just feel like I feel kind of outside of myself. Like, girl, you've never been one to not be able to control your emotions. What's going on here? And I really think it's just like a combination of like burnout, and I'm just exhausted. And the past 3 years of private practice I think it's just like all piling up on like the impact of it all, you know, emotionally. It was an emotional experience. And we can't forget, being a therapist is an emotional job, you know? Like, I don't think we talk about that part enough. We kind of just are like, therapy this, therapy that. And it's like, you guys, these are like humans containing other humans' feelings. That's a hard job. Okay. You know, and part of me feels like maybe it's just like I'm just like releasing, like I'm just like letting it all out. Like, God damn, this has been a lot, you know? And I loved it. Like, I always want to, like, I loved the job. I'm so fucking good at it. And anyway, I'm doing what I do. I'm just kind of trying to figure out my life. And yeah, it's been an emotional experience. So I went to a new yoga studio this morning. Not new, my old yoga studio with my old friends, which is so fun to like go to a different yoga studio. And why does this bring so much joy to my heart? Like, whenever I go to my old studio, the teachers are always so fucking nice and kind. And like, I say hi, and they say this. They say, oh my God, what are you doing here? What a treat. Not me being a treat. I was like, like, that's so freaking cute. The way it brings me so much joy. And all class today, I was like, look at me being a treat. Like, this is so freaking treat. That's so freaking, like, that is so sweet and so fucking cute. I can't stop cheesing. Like, that really brings me so much joy. So this morning, my teacher said that, and I was like, I love this place. I love these people, and I love that I know everybody at not everybody, but I know people at most studios I go to, and it just feels like such a community that I've built. No matter where I show up in different cities, different studios, I have a friend there, and I just literally fucking love that. And this morning, I'll tell you something embarrassing that happened to me. This is more embarrassing than the crying. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Get ready. So, I have my friends there. I know their names, and they're my friends. Okay. When we were leaving class, one of the guys was saying goodbye, and my brain, and I was talking to my other friend, and he said bye to us, and my brain like short circuited, and I was going to say bye guys, but then I realized it's just one person that's saying goodbye to me, who happens to be a man, and what comes out of my mouth, are we ready? I see this man pretty much every day at yoga, okay? Totally, I know his name. We do talk. He's a part of our group. Okay. Well, I say bye, guy. I'm sorry, Stephanie. Did you just say bye, guy? I did. And my friend that I was talking to at the moment didn't react. I didn't know what to say about the fact that I just called this man guy when I obviously know his name, and we talk all the time, and I'm humiliated. Not by guy. Guy? Oh, it's like literally, if it's not one thing, it's another. Do you know what I mean? Like that shit. Oh my God. And now I get to worry about all freaking week. God damn it. Bye, guy. Guy? God, 70. You guys, I'm so embarrassed. I can't stop thinking about it. I was like, did they notice? And like, yeah, dude, everyone heard you. Bye, guy. How do you save yourself from that? I wanted to be like, oh, I thought there was like multiple people leaving. I wanted to be like, oh, I thought so-and-so was leaving too. And it's like, I don't think I can save myself from that one, guys. I think I just said bye, guy, to someone who I fully know and know his name and see every morning. So that's good. That's pretty much the most like dick thing you could ever do. Guy? Oh, God. I'm sorry. I'm humiliated. I can't drop it. Okay. Oh, it's so embarrassing. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, my brain, I swear. Sometimes I'm just like, my brain does do such a good job. I should say thank you to it more. But every short circuit moment it has, I'm like, what's going on up here? 34 years on this planet, and you can't think on your feet better than to act like that in a yoga class? What the heck is going on up here? Who is in charge? Again, who's in charge? Who's in charge? And everyone's running around. Have you guys ever seen the SpongeBob? No. Family Guy episode where they have like the letters on the factory, and he's saying, what is he saying? Now I don't remember this part. But essentially there's a bunch of dudes that work in Peter Griffin's brain, and they're like running around. They're like, we need another E. We don't have E's. And it's like chaos. And there's like, why do I think it's SpongeBob? Is it SpongeBob or Family Guy? 70, those are very different shows. Who are we? Okay. Anyway, my brain feels like a bunch of people running around and like things are on fire, and then I'm like this, bye, guy, and then everyone's like, oh, we should probably do an incident report on that one. Okay. Funny. Okay, that was my embarrassing moment. Too embarrassing. I mean, I can't believe I fucking cried on Monday. There's just so much embarrassment happening at yoga right now. The fact that my friends still say, oh my gosh, what a treat when they see me is really next level. I'm like, what did you do to deserve this? Because what you didn't do is act cool. That's one thing you didn't do. What you didn't do is act like a bad bitch. What you did do is you acted like yourself, and yourself is embarrassing. Okay. My weekend. Actually, yeah, I want to segue into this. Well, you guys know I be advocating online. I advocate for therapists, mental health. You guys already know by now. I don't need to give the lore. So I had this survey go up recently to figure out how people are feeling about their pay in the mental health space. And I had this idea one day when I was at Kaiser. I was like, oh, I should like print out flyers with a QR code and then just like post them all over Oakland and be like, here's the Should I show you guys? Hold on. Okay, if you're on YouTube, you can see this. If you're not on YouTube, just give me a sec. One moment. We're under everything. Okay. Can we talk about how many flyers this is? Okay. Fantastic. So if you guys are not watching the video, I have a stack of 100 flyers in my hand. 100. Actually, 98. Okay? 98. Why do you have 98 flyers in your hand, Stephanie? Well, because one day, after I did all of my fucking audit bullshit for fucking, who was it? Blue Cross Blue Shield? Dickheads. Don't even matter. Does it fucking matter? They're all the same. I feel like they're all raised by the same monster, you know? It's like, they're all this. Anyway, Stephanie, don't talk about insurance. So, I printed out all these flyers with QR codes on them so people could do the survey. So cute, right? If you can't see it on YouTube, it says mental health professionals are not okay. And then it has share your experience and a little QR code. And then it just says like it's open to therapists, associates, psychologists, whoever. Essentially just scan the QR and enter in your pay. Tell us how you feel. And I printed out 100 flyers after doing an audit one day because I was like, fuck the system, fuck this shit, fuck that, fuck this, fuck that. You know what I mean? It's kind of how I be online. I'd be angry sometimes. I'd be fuck this, fuck that, fuck this, fuck that. So I literally told myself one day, okay, girl, what can you do though? You know, what can you do to mitigate these issues or just essentially make yourself fucking feel better? And I'm like, I'm fucking printing out 100 flyers and I'm posting this shit everywhere. I'm leaving Kaiser one day and I'm like, I want to post them all over around Kaiser because I feel like people that work at Kaiser could totally do the survey, you know, like the Kaiser employees, those motherfuckers always be on strike, you know, and I love to see the advocating for sure. So I'm like, this is the perfect space. So I print them out. Fuck the system. I'm fucking having a bad bitch day. I get home. I order a stapler to put it into like, I don't know, telephone poles. And I get a bunch of tape, right? I'm fucking ready. I'm like, okay, this is probably like 2 weeks ago now. I put them in my office and I'm like, not today, but soon. Soon, bitch. Soon, you're going to be able to advocate like a motherfucker in the streets. Like real life advocating. You know what I mean? So, about a week goes by and I'm like, I don't really want to do this anymore. A tree trimming truck and I'm like, are they gonna tree trim now? 70, calm yourself. So I print them all out. I'm going running one day and I'm like, just bring one flyer with you and just see if you feel like hanging one. Okay, just see if you can do one. So I go running one day and I have one in my car. I'm like kind of scoping before I'm running. I'm like, because it's early, like 7, it's like probably 6 o'clock in the morning because, you know, I'm an early girl. So I'm an early bitch. So that sounds more accurate. So I am driving around. I'm like, okay, that telephone pole would be good. That area would be good. This would be good. This would be good. And I'm like, okay, after my run, I'm going to get it and I'm going to go hang up. I think I brought like maybe two. And I was like, just hang a couple and just go. So my heart's kind of racing as I'm thinking about it, but I'm like, you'll be fine. Because in my mind, I'm like, what are people going to say to me? Are they going to ask me any questions? Is someone going to be like, you can't hang that there? And I'm like, 70, these are just stupid, silly goose thoughts. So just go on your run and process all of the feelings. And then afterwards, you can go hang them up. So I go on my run. I'm thinking, what if somebody yells at me? What if someone's like, my therapist is $200 an hour. Therapists are rich, right? I mean, I'm imagining all worst case scenario, all the things that could possibly be happening in my mind, right? So after my run, I pull Bubsy, it's okay, baby, I love you, but no snoring. He's snoring. So I after my run, I pull up to this little corner that looks pretty quiet. Actually, no, I was fucking passing so many things that I was like, I could hang it there, 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 and I kept driving. And I'm like, 70, you have to stop. And I just kept driving. And I'm like, or there. And then I'm like, 70, you have to stop. And then I just kept driving. So I was like, already feeling like, I don't know if I really want to do this anymore. So I finally find a little corner that looks quiet and I'm like, just go hang up one. So I get out of my car, I take my tape, I take my flyer, I walk up, my heart is racing. I can see it through my shirt. And you guys, I just went running. Okay, I just went running. The energy I had in my body and mind were depleted to like 0, if not negative 100. Why is my heart racing through my shirt? Okay. So I go, and then I'm like seeing other flyers on this little telephone pole. So I'm like, oh, this is a safe place to put my flyer for sure. And then I go to hang it up, and my hands are shaking. And I'm like, I actually don't know if I'm supposed to hang it here. And then I accidentally made it crooked. And then I accidentally covered up a little part of the other flyer. So then I'm starting to think people are going to think that I'm hanging flyers over other people's flyers. Someone's going to yell at these. Okay. It's not giving bad bitch advocacy, but all right. Okay, somebody. Mister, I have so much to say about the insurance system, but I'm like, this to hang a flyer feels like something that's a little bit outside of my pay grade. Okay. So I hang it up, I hang it crooked, and I'm walking back to my car, and I'm sure that the eyes of the world are on me. Who? Stephanie, who's looking at you? The eyes of the entire world, okay? And I'm sure of it. Is there anybody around? Not a soul, okay? So I get in my car, and I'm like, I'm never doing that again. Like, I'm just never doing that again. I literally just, I can't explain how much I'm never going to do that again. So then I start feeling, Bubsy, hey, can you stop snoring, please? Good boy. I'm so convinced they're going to start tree trimming, and my anxiety is like not letting me continue. Okay. I feel embarrassed. I feel stupid, and I feel dumb. I'm like, why did you print out 100 flyers? What, just to hang literally one? And then I just kept them in my office and just thought about it every single day. Like, is today the day? Is today the day you want to be a bad bitch? Is today the day you want to be a bad bitch? What about today? What about today? What about today? What about today? And the answer is no. I don't want to be a bad bitch, and I don't want to hang flyers. Emma did tell me, though, we did reach our goal for the survey, and that's, sorry, therapist, to make you do more unpaid work, but I appreciate you for doing this because I believe that this will help with that, right? Okay. And I'm embarrassed. So that's that. What else is new? You guys, I read a book. I read yesteryear, and it was fucking incredible. I started it on Monday, and I finished it on Tuesday. One thing about me, if you give me a good book to read, oh yeah, I need to update you guys on House of Leaves. It's what are you going to tell them, Stephanie? Okay, well, I watched my episode earlier today, the one where I was talking about House of Leaves, and what I said that about not reading it was true. I haven't picked it up since I recorded that episode. Are the vibes around it bad? Yeah, the vibes around it are bad. And does that interest me to read it more? 800 pages is a lot. I really feel like I could do like 300. I mean, yesteryear was like maybe 300 and something. And I was like, no problem. Like, I fucking got that. And it was so interesting. It was also written like stream of consciousness vibes, which if you know one thing about me, that's how my mind operates. Like short sentences, beep, bop, beep, bop, beep, bop, beep, bop. That's how it kind of needs to go. So when I'm reading books that are like that, I'm like, oh my God, tell me more. So I also feel like her writing style was good. My hairstylist told me about it. So yeah, read a book. That was fucking amazing. House of Leaves, no progress there. No progress there. Okay. I want to talk about a concept that I feel like has been helping me, that I feel like might help other people. So the concept is separating yourself from your experience. I feel that, I mean, honestly, when I can't sleep and my sleep is shit, this is so much harder. So I'll just preface it with that. I feel like what happened to me on Monday in yoga is a good example of when I don't sleep well and I'm like getting up really fucking early and I'm doing the routine that I have set in place for myself and I'm disciplined as fuck about it. But if I don't have my like needs met sleep-wise, health-wise, I feel like shit. And my emotions right under the surface. So one thing about like creating separation, being able to compartmentalize your feelings and things like that, it's part of it is like if you're exhausted and tired, it's a lot harder. So I'll say that. So with this, I got a good night of sleep last night because I decided to go to a different class this morning that was a little later by 30 minutes. But the way my mind is like way better 30 minutes later, I don't know, you guys. Do we understand anything in our minds? Not really. So went to class 30 minutes later, slept in a little more, and then this morning I woke up feeling so fucking good. Like I felt so much better, and in this moment I feel so much better, and I was journaling this morning and I could just tell in my journal that I feel so much fucking better, and the concept that I feel has really helped me through this week has been separating yourself from your experience, Stephanie. Like, yes, you are going through transition, okay? Yes, the therapy world is burning you the fuck out and the mental health industry is pissing you off. Yes, those things are true. And also, you are a human outside of all of that. And I think reminding myself of that is really fucking important. And I can make this relatable in that, when like your job is falling apart because I don't know, honestly, for the most part, they put themselves in that position, but then they put that onto you, right? Why are you not doing more? I need more from you, da 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 da. But really, it's like your guys' system has been broken for so long. But what that is like they need to put the blame somewhere, and the blame's going to fall on the employees, obviously. It's important, though, that it can fall on the employee. Like, it can fall on your employee sense of self if you want it to. If you want to hold the responsibility, I think let your employee within you hold that. But the human in you was never meant to hold that. Is that too woo-woo? Does that make sense? Like, emotionally, it's not your place nor your problem. So to me, it's like the mental health industry. It's impactful to me as a therapist. So the therapist in me, kind of like when I'm referring to you guys as like the employee in you, the employee in me is like, yeah, this fucking sucks and this pay is bad. And I feel like we're so qualified for these roles, but we get paid like we're not. And it's just like, is this healthcare? Is it not healthcare? If I'm seeing it as a medical employee, then why is my pay $30? Right? So like all of those questions are super fair, but where we need to stop and draw that line is when I start feeling like shit, like me as a human, where I'm like, why did I do this in the first place? Why I said this on a previous episode, but when I talk about how people ask me, didn't you know it was going to be like this? That falls on the human in me. Right? That doesn't fall on the therapist in me. That falls on the human in me being like, didn't you know it was going to be like this? Back in college, you were like, I want a psych degree. What the fuck was your plan, Stephanie? That's where it starts collapsing onto the human, and that's unfair. Because Stephanie in 2015 had no fucking idea what Stephanie in 2026 had to say about all this. We can't blame her for all of this. So with that, I've tried to be mindful of that separation. This is the therapist in me problem, right? To feel, to navigate, to advocate about. But that's it. It stops there. Once my therapist identity is shifted to the side and the human comes forward, the human needs to know needs to say to everyone involved here, we're all doing our best. Don't let work make you feel like you're a bad person. Don't even let them feel like you're a bad employee. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's like we have to let that land somewhere. And like, sure, we can let it land on our employee professional sense of self. But knowing that, like, real talk, that wherever you're working, and I shouldn't make this so blanket, but I'm going to make it really blanket. Wherever you're working was probably fucked up well before you started working there. Like, just a guess, probably, So it's like, real talk, what responsibility do you even have there? Why take that on if it's not really about you? Because they'll probably have similar problems when you leave. And they probably had similar problems before you started working there. So, pause for garbage truck. Garbage men, again, so hot. I still feel this way. Oh, wait, I have one thing to say that's kind of serious. I just thought of it. Does that make sense about separate yourself? And like how to do it, it's essentially just like a mindfulness technique. You have to just be really aware of it. How I do it is like when I'm thinking about insurance or mental health, or I hear something about therapy and I feel anger, that's when I know, like, Steph, that's not like for you or about you. Like, that anger can live within the industry. That anger can live even if you want to put on your therapist hat or whatever. And if you want to be mad as a therapist, that's one thing. To advocate online for other therapists, like if you want to sit in that space and be a little angry, that's fair. But what we're not going to do is take this to bed with you at 2:00 in the morning, be worried about it. Like, that's inappropriate and weird. And why are we doing that? Like, we don't need to bring that, because that impacts the human in me. And the human in me is the one that's laying in bed at 2:00 in the morning being like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? But it's like, what am I going to do at 2 a.m.? So it's really just a mindfulness practice. Bubs is snoring again. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Bubsy. And I feel like you guys can't hear it. It's a me issue. And what's annoying about this is that it's not even like I can hear it in my headphones. I can feel it in my body, like in my bones. I think that might be my OCD. Sometimes I think like this type of like sensory stuff is related to like my mental health condition. Not me having a condition. If you've ever seen me, met me, or been on my podcast for more than 3 seconds, you'll know that I have a condition. Like, there's something up with this chick. There is something up with this chick. You're so right. Okay. Also, I decided to relabel. When I can't sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning as me not being able to, I stopped saying I can't sleep because it's like, that's just, we know that. Instead, I just tell myself, you're just thinking about stuff. I'm just trying it. It's new. I'll let you guys know if it works. This morning I woke up at like 3 and I put on my like meditation music to see if that would like help me kind of calm the fuck down. And it kind of did. But then in my mind, I was like, I can't sleep. And then I was like, what if we reframe? This is me at 2 o'clock in the morning. This is why I'm so exhausted all the time. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, what if we reframe this to like, not that you can't sleep. What can you do, right? Instead of what can't you do, what can you do? And what I can do in this moment is think about stuff and process and feel the feeling. So maybe I'm just intentionally thinking about things. It's not that I can't sleep. It's that I can think about stuff. This is the time. I don't know why. This is the time for all of that, but this is just the time for all of that. So I'm going to say one thing. I don't want to end this serious. I'll find a way to not end it serious. But it's just something that I've been thinking about why is being vulnerable online, why being worried about being vulnerable online why is that so pick me? Why is that so pick me? I was literally journaling about like, I feel so nervous and scared about being so vulnerable online. And I couldn't stop laughing at the fact that sounds so pick me to me. Not me being like, oh, it's so hard out here being so honest. It's just so hard being real. I'm just struggling with being so authentic. Oh, God, Stephanie. Be a little more unsufferable. Crank that up a little smidgy more. So, anyway, on that note of me being so pick me, I'm getting a little nervous about my vulnerability, okay? I'm just getting a little nervous about it, especially my episode, Not All Men. That episode, I shared so fucking much. And then the minute I share it, what my mind does, and tell me if this is relatable in any way after you guys share vulnerable things, does your mind start to pick apart all of the ways the story like doesn't line up, or all of the ways that people might hear the story and blame you? Does that ever happen to anyone else? Because, kind of like the therapy thing, right? I told myself, like, or I told the world, I'm closed my practice. And in my mind, I'm so ready for everybody to be like, she did something wrong. You know? She's just too weak. She shouldn't have taken those insurance contracts. She should have been a cash pay therapist. You know, like to all the, it's like, has anyone even said that to you, Stephanie? No, this is the way my mind just ding, 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 on a freaking Wednesday. So, with the episode, Not All Men, I also am going to stop saying that I'm not going to bring up this ex anymore, because clearly it's just something that's like so in my mind and alive that it's like, I'm going to talk about it as much as I want. So there's just a little quick thing about that. But the ex that stalked me, I just want to make it very clear, because I also make jokes about how I can't stop talking to exes. And I just want everyone to know, not that anybody was wondering, but if you guys were, if anybody was or ever will wonder about this, that's not relevant to this ex-boyfriend. Like, I stopped talking to this ex-boyfriend the moment we broke up. That's actually the only time I did that. The reasoning being that what he did to cause the breakup was more horrific than I could ever imagine. And this is the part that I haven't shared, and I'm not planning on sharing what led to the breakup, because it's honestly too vulnerable, and it's an experience that I'm not willing to talk about. But I also felt the need to like say the talking with exes thing is true for everyone I've ever dated, except for this man. Like the stalking, the after the breakup, all the bullshit, there was no communication between him and I. It was him to me because he was texting me on anonymous numbers, but it was never me to him. And I just maybe feel a need to say that because I do have this feeling, and maybe, I don't know, guys, what is this? Like, I feel like I'm going to get blamed. And I don't know if this is just like being a woman. And I also know that this is part of the reason why women don't speak up about their stories is because there's obviously room for like criticism or blame. And in my mind, I started thinking like, what if people are going to be like, oh, it's her fault, you know, like, oh, she probably texted him to come to the city, or like, I don't know, you know, that story where I was like, he found me in the city, like, and like in my mind, and I know what's real and I did it, but why do I feel the need to like correct it, you know? And part of me feels like all of this is like not as, all the details aren't as important as it is just like more so if I zoom out, what this really is being so vulnerable makes me feel super anxious because I don't know how people will read it, hear it, be impacted by it, you know? But for me, it's been really healing, which it has and hasn't, you know. The part of me feels like it's been really healing because when I share it, I feel so much fucking better. When I watch back the video, I feel impressed, I feel brave, and I feel vulnerable. Because I just feel like, what are the people going to have to say about your choices and the people that you pick to date, you know? And what are people going to say about what you did to deserve 4 years of stalking? You know, when at the end of the day, I didn't do anything to deserve any of that, but I am prepared for people to say that I did. And I'm just kind of working through that mentally, you know? It's like an issue of every vulnerability point I hit with the podcast, and the more honest I am about really close to my heart experiences, the more I'm scared. I just feel scared. And then I try to use the separate yourself thing where I can be like, this is art, you know, it's been created, and once it leaves my Mac and it's exported to YouTube or Spotify, then it's really not for you to worry about, you know? Like, how people obtain and feel about my art is not my business. And also, this is my life. So it's kind of hard for me to find that separation piece, but I also know it's necessary. And yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to say? You said you were going to make this funny. Fuck. I think the reason that I can't stop talking to my exes, that first ex that I dated for 4 years from high school to college, my dad died right after we had broken up. So then we stayed connected because I was going through so much grief, and my dad was really was best friends with his dad, and our families were really close. So like breaking up with that ex was so fucking hard because it had already happened. And then he came back around though to support me through my grief, which made that relationship go on for so much longer than it needed to. I mean, I saw that ex fucking, not that I'm going to admit this on the motherfucking pod, but like within the last 2 years, I saw him again. And like we were texting, talking. Like, it's just like, it was just hard for me to like let go of exes at times. But that one I believe is tied up in my grief. We dated for 4 years too. So it was, through high school and college, like that's pretty formative years. So it's hard for me to let go of him. And then the ex that stalked me, easy to let go of that one. And then ex after that, that's the one I'm still dealing with. Like, that's the one that I'm like, been broken up for 4 years, girly pop. You gotta stop with this one. And I've been doing good, but is it in the back of my mind all the time? Like, should you reach out? Should you reach out? Yes. And with that ex, similar to my first ex, him and I were together when my mom died, but we were together when my mom died. And then our relationship got fucking nuts after that. Then he broke up with me on my fucking birthday after causing a huge fucking scene. Actually, I haven't told that story on the podcast. That would be a funny story to tell. All these years later, it's quite funny. At the time, it was not very fucking funny. But I do think that like breaking up with exes while also going through grief is nuts. Like, me and that first ex were broken up, but maybe like for 2 months before my fucking dad died. So of course we came back together. And then my most recent ex, like my mom died while we were together. So it's hard for me, you know, but I also do think about how supported I felt with grief because I had partners at the time. But now that I navigate my grief without one, I'm like, this is a lot different. Like, not to say, I'm not going to call it a cheat code because people are going to be like, no, it's still hard with a partner. But I kind of feel for me like it was a cheat code to keep my partner around. Like, it was a cheat code to keep my ex around for sure when my dad died. It was definitely less of a cheat code because me and that other ex with my mom were together. But once we broke up, I do feel like I kind of utilized him as a cheat code where I just didn't want to feel feelings. And there's something that's really comforting about having like another person there with you to like navigate your grief with you. You know, on a sad day, they get it. They know why you're sad. They figure out ways to help you feel better. They're looking at me like her fucking mom just died. Of course she, you know, needs me around. Or her fucking dad is sick. Of course she needs me around. And like, it just feels helpful to be that supported in those times of need. And also, it's really hard to fucking let go. Like, really fucking hard. Like, I'm really fucking trying. And I saw my most recent ex as recent as this year, you know? Like, and it's like, dude, you guys broke up in 2022. What are we, right? Still? But yeah, like, the way that my nervous system just, like, I think is used to being supported by his nervous system, that I'm just like, we can hang out again, but it's like, why? Just so you can feel a million times fucking worse after 70? Please. So I'm working on it, working through it, but I'm not going to act like it's easy. And then every person that I've ever dated in situationship style, I let them hang around forever too. Like, you remember the take care guy? Do we remember the take care guy? Okay. Well, we tried to break it off probably 3 years ago now, when I told him that I didn't want to talk to him anymore, and he said, take care. And I was like, that's we only stopped hanging out like maybe a year ago, but he texted me like 2 weeks ago. And the way I almost let him back in, I was like, I mean, I could talk about a horror show a little bit. I could talk about a little spooky, scary on Netflix. I mean, fucking don't tempt me with a good time. Dun, 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 dun. Like, here I fucking go on my fucking way. Did you watch it? Did you like it? Da-da-da-da, but I was like, Stephanie, you have to draw the line eventually. The take care guy does not care if you live or died, okay? If you died and they wouldn't even know, that's probably not someone we need to be keeping around us, right? Right, me to me? Yeah, girl, yeah. If he doesn't care if you live or die, maybe that could be a boundary. The boundaries are in hell, let me fucking tell you. The boundaries are in hell. So, that's it. So sad, huh? That I had to correct that narrative about the stalker. I was like, people are going to be like, oh, she says she always talks to her exes. Then I'm like, what makes them think this ex was any different, you know? It is different. That one was much different. Okay. That was like blocked, never again vibes, which I'm proud of. I know I can do it, but the circumstances were bad. Okay. Did you make it funny at the end, Stephanie? I don't think you did. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not always going to be funny. All right, you guys. Wait, one thing about Bubs that's funny, and then I will let you go. Bubs and I love to sit outside and enjoy our backyard because it's so beautiful and we're so freaking lucky. So I'm sitting in my backyard the other day and Bubs has been doing this thing. So Bubs, I've been telling you guys, he doesn't bark. He hasn't had anything to say for about 8 years. He's 8. He turned 8 in freaking March. He's never had a word to say. This is the quietest dog I've ever had. This dog says nothing all day long. Silent. He says, Samantha, I have nothing to say. And I'm like this. Okay, Bubs, like nothing. I hear nothing more than a grumble every once in a while. Lately, he's been doing this thing where he barks at the door. And it's the first time he did it, it scared the living fuck out of me because he barks so loud and I haven't heard him bark for 8 years. I've never ever heard him really bark. So I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck? What, Bubs? He's just this really loud, like bark, just a single bark. Like he just found his bark yesterday. So he's not used to the volume yet. He goes full volume and I'm like, oh my, holy shit, Bubs, it's so quiet. I don't need to hear, what's this giant fucking noise happening? So he barks at the door and I let him in immediately out of complete fear and terror. So he's learned that now when he barks at the door, I get up a lot faster than when he doesn't bark at the door and he wants to come inside or, well, mostly just going inside he barks. Going out, he doesn't bark. Actually, lately he kind of has been. So ever since this day a couple weeks ago, Bubs has been barking. And he doesn't bark often. He still only barks at the specific at the door, but he'll bark to go out, and then he'll bark to come in, and he barks when he wants his dinner. Which is something that I'm like, Bubs, you've been getting your dinner for how many years? 8 fucking years you've been getting dinner every night, and not one bark have I heard, not one peep. He eats at 6. He's been barking at like 4:30. And I'm like this, I can't get him to stop barking. It's demand barking. I know what the fuck he's doing. So then I'm like trying to think like, do I need to train this out of him? Do I need to work on this? He's fucking 8. Do I really care? Does he really care? What are we really doing? So I'm like, okay, I'll just feed him at 4:30. So Bubs is just fucking barking and running the household lately. Stressing me out. It literally is just a single bark whenever he wants to go outside, inside, or dinner time. And literally it just started 2 weeks ago. So I'm outside sitting with him yesterday, and I'm sitting on my bench, and I don't see him. I'm like, where did Bubs go? What's going on? All of a sudden, I hear him barking. He's barking at the slider door. He's around the corner. He's barking. He knows I'm outside with him because I went out with him, and it's freaking 70 degrees and sunny. Why do you need to go inside so bad? Okay? So I walk around the corner. I go, Bubs, what's going on? He looks at me, and he barks at the door again. Like, who's going to let you inside, Bubs? I don't understand who you think operates the door. If not me, who the fuck? And this, to my point about how I say Bubs does not understand who I am in comparison to anyone else on this planet, this is what makes this true. Bubs has no idea who I am. Bubs thinks that he's outside with Samantha. Well, where's inside Samantha? Where's inside Samantha if outside Samantha's out here? Like, Bubs doesn't, I'm telling you guys, he doesn't really connect the dots. He thinks that like all humans are the same. He has no separation. So outside Samantha doesn't let him in. He's barking at inside Samantha. I don't know where they figured out that there's another version of me. There isn't, but he thinks there is. So I'm trying to explain to him, hey, Bubsy, it's 75 degrees and sunny. Bubsy, you're in Oakland, California. Bubsy, it's not really a big deal. You don't need to go inside in this very moment. He refuses to listen. He barks again, and it's so fucking loud. I'm like, okay, go inside. I give up. Like, I don't understand why you think that there's just always Samantha's everywhere to just help you out with whatever you need, and because there literally is. There are people everywhere for him. We were on a hike the other day. He joined a whole new family. He's trotting up there with this other guy. And I see this guy. He's freaking petting Bubs, treating him so nice. Bubs just picks to go with that family. He said, that looks like a nice dog. This seems like a pretty nice guy. I'm just going to go over here. And I'm like this, okay. And I just like stay back like, I don't know, a quarter of a fucking mile because Bubs does what he wants and I can't keep him close to me. And he chose a whole new family. And I'm just watching him walk with this dog and this man for about 20 minutes. Like until the dog and the man got to the parking lot and I had to go up to Bubs and grab his collar and be like, hey Bubs, my name is Samantha and I've been, you know, living with you for the past 8 years and this is our car. And Bubs was like this, oh. And then he just hops in. He didn't even say anything. Like he doesn't understand who I am in comparison to anyone else. Anyone's car doors are open. Bye Bubs. Bye Bubs. Bubs is in their car. He's asking, who are you and where are we going? Like, cause he's like, I don't care. Like, and everyone's like, hey Bubs, did you come here with somebody? And Bubs is like this, I don't know what her name is. And I don't think I came here with anybody. Like, it's not clocking to Bubs that like, we are together in this Bubs. Like it's not just you in the world. It's me and you in the world. Anyway, that's what's new with Bubs. I love you guys so fucking much. Separate yourself from your problems this week. If your boss is making you feel like you're the issue, just know you're probably not the issue. There's probably an issue before you and after you, so I wouldn't really take it too personally, okay? Me to me. I love you guys so much. Have a great fucking week, and I'll see you on Friday.